I'm back, YouTube. My bad. Listen, this is gonna be a two-parter. I had some technical difficulties, so this is part two to my review. Um, so yeah, Doctor Strange. I think what I left off was talking about Doctor Strange and his display of power. I really don't feel like they displayed his power um, well. He didn't use a time gem at all. Yeah, at all. He didn't use a time gem at all, which made no sense to me. Especially considering what he did in his movie against Damaru, made no sense to me. Um, at the very towards the end, when he had like a 1v1 versus Thanos, he started doing different shit, which was hot. That was hot. I was like, all right, now we start to see some stuff. And, he started doing some additional things, a little bit towards the end of the movie. Like some new juice that we haven't seen as far as like his power and mystic arts is concerned. But they didn't go too crazy with, because that's what I want. I want to see some shit, But it was still good. For what it was, it was definitely good. I just want, I want everyone that I grew up reading in the comics to be displayed exactly the same way in the movie. But I digress. I was happy. I'm really happy with how strong they making Spider-Man, or they made Spider-Man in the movie. Spider-Man is powerful, bro. Real powerful. Dare I say, Spider-Man is more powerful than the comic book version of Spider-Man. And some people might say, it might be because he has a little enhancement due to Tony Stark's suit, and that might be true, but it doesn't really seem like it. Like, he's been doing things even before he got a suit. Like, what was it? Civil War, when he went to Aunt May's house to, recruit Spider-Man and let him know, I know who you are. And it showed the video footage, the YouTube video footage of him, catching a car, or a bus or whatever. He did that with ease. When the big dude, I can't remember his name, one of the Black Order, the huge Hulk-looking guy with the axe, and Ebony Maw, or whatever his name is, where they showed up in New York, and it was fighting Iron Man and Strange and all that. Like, he was about to kill Iron Man. And Spider-Man just swung in, all casually, held the axe up, just stopped it. Hi, Mr. Stark, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, and he's so durable. He was getting haymaker by both Thanos and, that big dude, not at the same time, but like when he fought each one, like he was getting haymaker. He gave as good as he got, almost as good as he got, because like the power scaling was just so. But he definitely did his thing. But my goodness, how powerful they made Spider-Man. I love it. Cause I'm a big Spider-Man buff. I feel like Spider-Man in the comics is far more powerful than a lot of people realize. And that's probably because of his character and nature. Like, how annoying he is, and he always trying to tell jokes and stuff. Like, Spider-Man is very similar, in my opinion, to Deadpool. They're very similar. But he was awesome. Who else? The Guardians of the Galaxy was great. Hulk is useless, guys. Hulk is useless. I don't know why they made one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe so weak. So weak. Like, I wasn't expecting him to beat Thanos. Like, they fought before, and Thanos, each time whooped Hulk's ass. I don't remember a count where Hulk beat Thanos in a fist fight. But Hulk has fought cosmic beings before. Hulk has fought beings far more powerful than him before. And it never, I mean, as far as I've read, I don't know. Maybe there is something out there that exists. But as far as I've read, as far as like the main continuity, the 616 universe, he ain't never like got his ass whooped and been afraid to like want to Hulk out again and fight that person again. Or at the very least, Hulk out again. It's official. As far as the movie Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe is concerned, Thor is far more powerful than Hulk. Far more. You know, Thor, what Thanos did to Thor, in my opinion, was worse than what Thanos did to Hulk. You know, Thanos just kind of like showed Hulk like, you know, nigga, I'm stronger than you. And was like Mike Tyson in his ass, you know, like really putting that whammy on him. But what he did to Thor, in my opinion, was far, far, far worse, because he used the power gem on Thor's ass. You know, and Thor still, you know, yo, I'm gonna ride out with my anger and my rage and the whole thought of revenge. I'm gonna go regroup. I'm gonna make me another hammer and I'm gonna come get your ass, you know? And that's exactly what he did, where you got fucking Hulk too scared to Hulk out. He don't want to Hulk out. Banner's trying to get him to Hulk out to help. Because Banner was there doing the New York fight with Maw and the big dude, and he couldn't Hulk out. Hulk would not come out. He kept saying no the whole time. What else happened? So Iron Man and company end up winning that battle. But Maw, like, for whatever reason, kicked the shit out of Doctor Strange and kidnapped him so he can get the time gem. He's not able to rip it off his body because Strange got some kind of spell that prevents anyone from actually physically taking it off of him. So yeah, he grabs Strange, hops in the ship, takes off. Spider-Man, he stowaways on the ship. Iron Man's in hot pursuit. That's when he turns his legs into a freaking giant thruster, you know, and at the same time he summons the Iron Spider, you know, for Spider-Man. You know, the ship is leaving Earth's orbit, you know, Spider-Man loses consciousness and he falls, and the Iron Spider suits, you know, forms up and grabs him and, you know, turns him into the Iron Spider. His Iron Spider suit was impressive. You know, I love how they implemented, you know, the spider legs, just like in the comics. It was very, very, very impressive, very beautiful to see and to watch. Thor, I also enjoyed how perfectly balanced the tone was in the movie. Like, Marvel has that shit down packed. Like, we remember the tone for Thor Ragnarok and how it was, like, you know, really funny at times, but, you know, when it got somewhat dark and serious, you know, it was dark and serious, but it was mainly funny, you know, throughout the entire time. And also, I think Korg and Meek is dead after Thanos destroyed that ship, because the only thing that survived was Thor. Okay, so when the Guardians of the Galaxy, when you see them, because there was a distress signal in the beginning of the movie sent by an Asgardian. So later, the Guardians of the Galaxy are like traveling to where Thor's destroyed ship is, or was, because of this the distress signal. And you know, that whole Guardians of the Galaxy tone, you know, the comedy and all that, you know, was in full effect. And they ran into Thor and they pulled him in. And when they woke Thor up, it was just really good and refreshing to see how well they, like, how you say, men together, you know, and feed off each other, you know, because we're fresh off of Thor Ragnarok, and, you know, and it was kind of like a comedy, you know, it was funny, and that whole tone just bleeded over into the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was just feeding off each other, and it was just really great to see. And despite the fact that the theme of the movie was a serious theme, because Thanos, in this version of Thanos in the cinematic universe, He wants to get all the gems to eliminate half of all life forms in order to save all life forms in the universe. That's his reasoning. It kind of sounds noble, but it's not at all. I didn't like how they made Thanos they made Thanos emotional, somewhat. Like his crusade in his mind was noble. His crusade in his mind, his mission was to save all life in the galaxy by eliminating half of all life, infiltrating each world, all these worlds, and destroying half of the life form that inhabits that world in order for everything else to thrive, to prevent extinction altogether. When the Thanos in the comics don't give a shit about any of that. You could die, they could die, everybody can die. I don't love nothing but death, literally. Lady Death, which was never mentioned throughout the entirety of the movie. You didn't see anything, and there was points in the movie where I thought they were gonna reveal her. They never revealed her, didn't say anything about her. But Thanos was definitely heartfelt. There was a lot of moments where you felt his struggle, but you didn't want to feel for him because of what he was doing, but you definitely felt his struggle. And it just threw me off because that's not the Thanos we know. Like the Thanos in the comics wants to destroy all life in the universe, period, for the love of Lady Death. That's all he cares about, is winning the heart, so to speak, or the hand of Lady Death. That's all he cares about. Everything else can perish. So it was definitely different. I understand why they did it, to put more heart into the movie and the main villain, versus just having a villain like everything needs to die. Die. Why are you doing it? I love Lady Death. I think it would have been hot if they also added Lady Death into the movie, because Lady Death instigates a lot of shit that Thanos does. Like a lot of, almost really everything, all his actions since he was a child. A child. The story of Thanos is amazing, guys. If you haven't read it, get on it. Since he was a child, he's been manipulated by death. And what I'm still trying to research and discover is why Lady Death chose Thanos. Like, what is it about Thanos that drawn her to him since birth? And she molded him. Like, Thanos in the comics, he is the way he is because of her. She created him to be the way he is. And I think it would have been hot if, at one point or another, she just showed up and maybe, whisper, some influence in Thanos's ear or something. Kind of like a Tom Hanks, Cloud Atlas, the true type of shit, going on. I thought that would have been that would have been hot if they did that. But, they didn't. But it didn't take away from the movie at all. It really didn't. What else? So, yeah, Thor and the crew from Guardians of the Galaxy, that was great. They blend well. Thor took Rocket and Groot, and they went to, I forgot the name of the planet, where the not dark elves, but the dwarves inhabit, and where they, make all these, super powerful weapons. And spoiler alert, a wonderful surprise that I didn't know about, the guy from Tyrion, the guy from Game of Thrones, he was in the movie. He was a giant. This is the first movie or anything that he played in where he was taller than everybody else in the movie or in the TV show, whatever. He was a giant. Bigger than Thor. He was kicking Thor's ass. He was bigger than everybody. But he was like the main, I guess, forger that made Thor's hammer, and Thor went there so he could forge him another hammer that's powerful enough to kill Thanos. But Thanos was already there and like almost destroyed the planet or the world that he was inhabiting. And the gauntlet, which I have to research and find out if it's like that in the comics, but in the movie, Thanos grabbed Tyrion and forced him by threatening the rest of his people, if you don't forge me a weapon or something where I can wield the Infinity Gems, I'm going to kill every last one of your people. So he made the gauntlet for him, and Thanos took it and killed his people anyway. And before he left, somehow I guess he stuck his fist. He made him make a fist, and he stuck his fist into like Asgardian metal, some kind of crazy Asgardian metal, so he can't forge anything else again because he's a threat. He let him live for what he did for him, but he encased his arms in that ancient metal so he wouldn't forge anything to like try to come after him later on. But at the same time, he was still able to help Thor, forge the Stormbringer hammer from the Ultimate Universe. Which, in my opinion, if you're gonna do that, and for whatever reason, I don't know why they had Groot's would be the actual handle or whatever, but if you're gonna do that, he should transform into War Thor. Make him War Thor. That would have been hot. That would have been hot. Well, whatever. Whatever. It was still good. It was still good. What else? I think it was great how quickly everyone was up to speed, and how well everyone vibed and worked off of each other, even though the events of Civil War were still fresh in everyone's minds. Iron Man did not want to contact Captain America for help, because he was still, reeling over, what happened in Civil War. But what ended up happening is Bruce Banner ended up calling Captain America and filling him in. And Captain America's kind of been like off the grid, along with Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, which was amazing throughout the entire movie. Like, they really made her, she was like, I feel like she was the most dangerous out of everyone, and she ain't had no power. But when she showed up and she did something, she handled business. She took care of business, like, period. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Oh man, God, I don't know. This movie was amazing. This movie was fucking amazing. There's so much I want to tell you and talk to you guys about. Maybe I should just do a review with the boys so we could all vibe and do it together. I can't even collect my thoughts properly. Like, this movie, like, I was in there crying. Thanos, stop it. My bad. Thanos wastes no time forming the gems, guys. He wastes no time getting the gems. He also sacrificed Gamora to get the soul gem, because in order for him to get the soul gem, a soul had to be sacrificed. And it couldn't be just any soul. It had to be something that, a soul that he loved. And evidently he like truly loved Gamora. That was the only thing he loved, which was interesting. Odd, but interesting. Another pleasant surprise. Another character we didn't know was going to show up, but finally made an appearance. The world that Thanos and Gamora went to looking for the soul gem. The gatekeeper, so to speak, levitating in front of where they need to get to, in front of Thanos and Gamora, turned out to be the Red Skull. Red Skull, since Captain America, the first Captain America, Red Skull was on that world. I think he absorbed a little bit of power from the Tesseract because, like, he was doing shit like he knew things, like he knew about the universe. He said he knew all things, especially if it arrives on that planet, that world that he was on. He was levitating, so obviously he could fly, like it was seeing him finally showing up again was an amazing, pleasant surprise. I was flipping shits, but Thanos sacrificed Gamora, killed her for the Soul Gem, and then he ended up after the Avengers and Black Panther's people in the Wakanda, that whole Wakanda battle. They slaughtered, the remaining Black Order members and the little cannon fodder monsters or whatever you want to call them. I forgot the name of them. They actually have a name, but whatever. They're not important. So yeah, they end up kicking all their asses, and then shortly after, Thanos kicks the shit and almost kills Iron Man by shanking him with his own shit. And Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and everything, and getting the time gem, which makes no sense. Doctor Strange gave up the time gem. He gave up the time gem. Like, why would you give up a time gem? Like, the way Doctor Strange was talking, like he had a plan, but he wasn't revealing that plan. He was saying stuff like it was the only way. Like, what do you mean? Because Thanos was about to kill Iron Man. And earlier, much earlier, Doctor Strange made it clear to Tony, at any given time, if it comes to a point where I had to choose between you and Spider-Man and the gem, I'm going to choose the gem and let y'all niggas die. And that time came up, and he chose Tony. He chose Tony's life, and gave him the gem instead of using it against him. I believe that if Doctor Strange was to use the time gem against Thanos, they would have won. Absolutely. And I didn't understand why. And there was a point, because they all fought in Titan. You had Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Mantis, Doctor Strange, and what's his name? That's also part of Star-Lord's group. The one, Drax. Like, they fighting Thanos, and they had him at one point. Like, Doctor Strange was able to teleport Mantis on top of Thanos' head, but she was like reading his mind reading his mind and his feelings and stuff instead of putting him to sleep. Because what they wanted to do was like take the gauntlet, take the gauntlet and the gems off of his hand. But they could have done that if once, because she had him. Like, once she had him, she could have been like, sleep. Like, you can't tell me she's powerful enough to put a freaking Celestial like what's his name, Ego the Planet, to sleep, but you can't put Thanos to sleep. Come on, bro. Little stuff like that was like, ooh, and they almost got the gauntlet off of him anyway, but they ended up failing. And Doctor Strange gave him the gem. He teleports to Earth. Scarlet Witch, against her will, she didn't want to do it. She had no choice but to destroy the gem that Vision had on his forehead, and in turn destroying Vision. And I knew before she even destroyed Vision and the gem what was going to happen. I knew that once she did it, all Thanos was going to do was use the time gem, rewind time, and then snatch the gem right off his forehead. And that's exactly what he did. He kind of was like attracted to Scarlet Witch, petting her head, ooh, I know that pain you feel, like I made many sacrifices, this day, but it's time. Every time he got ready to use a particular gem, he would say that gem's power, it's power or reality, space, it's time, and he'll use it. And he rewind time, brought Vision back to life, and then snatched that gem and muffed him, and he had all the Infinity Gems, and he eradicated half of all life on Earth. I'm not gonna say all the Avengers died, because All of them didn't die. The vast majority of them die. Captain America's still alive. Scarlet Witch is still alive. I don't know why. Who else is still alive? I think I have to watch it again. I think Iron Man is still alive too. And that's it. Everybody else died. War Machine, Falcon. The end credits show Nick Fury and Miranda Hill. Same way those cats died. Died. They just died. Nick Fury, Miranda Hill, Falcon, War Machine. Oh, Hawk is still well, Bruce Banner, he's still around too. Black Panther died. Who else? Spider-Man died in a dramatic way. That shit had me bawling, yo. Like that, I really felt that because he was begging. He was like, please, like, you know, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. He's like, you know, please, like, no. You know, like, oh man, yo, like I was feeling that, and like he was apologizing. I was feeling that so hard. That had me in my feelings for real. But they killed Spider-Man. They killed Mantis. Star-Lord died. Freaking Drax died. Groot died. Rocket died. Matt, everybody died, yo. Like, you know, except for like a small select few, which I don't understand why. Especially Captain America. You know, how did he? You know, he shouldn't have survived. He shouldn't have lived. You know, and Thanos. I'm sorry to say, even though he was vastly more powerful than anybody he encountered. You know, and I said it in a theory vid of mine that there's nobody that's presented in the Marvel Universe so far that's powerful enough to go toe-to-toe with Thanos right now. Which is, I'm still amazed that they did this movie, but I felt like I was a little kid reading the Infinity War all over again. It still wasn't on the same scale as the comics because they introduce, like, in the comics, after Thanos destroys like all the heroes on Earth, he started going up against like God, Celestials, Galactus, you know, all kind, and defeated them too. Like, he destroyed everything. You know, I think he also killed Mephisto. Like, and they didn't introduce no cosmic being, no Galactus. I heard rumor like Silver Surfer might be in it. He wasn't in it. You know, like, it would have been hot. I'm surprised it didn't tease any other, you know, cosmic powerful entities, you know, like that in the movie. Yeah, this dude, he won, bro. You know, like, it was a downhill battle throughout the entire movie. You know, but the movie was absolutely amazing, man. It was so amazing. You know, I had so many feelings. I also loved the time that Gamora and Star-Lord had, you know, before, you know, she ended up dying. You know, she finally revealed her love to him, you know. I thought that was great, you know. I thought that was real good. You know, she revealed, you know, that I love you so much. You're like, whoa, you know, like, I knew you guys had like an unspoken thing going on. I ain't know it was like that quickly, you know, whatever. But it was nice. That was nice. You know, nothing about it felt rushed, you know. And the dialogue, in my opinion, when there was dialogue, was not really short, but it kind of felt short to me because next thing you know, they was in a battle. You know, like, to me, from beginning to end, this movie was about battle. You know, it was all battle and fight scenes, and then you have some humor, and, you know, Marvel got the perfect formula, man. Like, they got the perfect formula, and I have no idea what they're gonna do for part 4. You know, because Thanos won. You know, they might as well call this Avengers Infinity War Thanos wins. But I guess that'll give it away. Nah, they can't do that. Yeah, never mind. Forget what I just said. But yeah, he won. He won that battle. Surprisingly enough, Thor's hammer was able to, like, to penetrate his skin. He almost killed him, you know. And what ended up happening, I still don't understand, because he snapped his finger after getting all the gems to eradicate all life. And then he teleported out of there because of Thor's hammer penetrating his, almost like, killing him. I didn't understand why the hammer would be that strong, especially after he got all the gems. Like, I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. But, he eradicated everything, man. Like, almost everybody's gone. And then I waited for so long for the end credits just to see freaking Nick Fury and Miranda Hill die the same way these guys died. But before Nick Fury died, he got this like communicator, and he was trying to summon the Captain Marvel because they showed her symbol. But in my opinion, I feel like, why would you summon her? Like, because she probably died. She should die the same way. She's part of the human race, but maybe she'll be one of the ones that was spared, one of the half of the humans that was spared, along with Captain America and I believe, and Bruce Banner and Black Widow. There was no Ant-Man in the movie. This movie was amazing. This movie was amazing. I'm sorry that I'm stuttering and like if I was like lost in thought and like there's so much to cover in the movie. I want to tell you all, at one time, but I'm kind of messing it up at the same time. I'll just say this. Go watch that fucking movie. And once you watch it again. And when you watch it the second time, watch it the third time. Because I'm going to watch this movie multiple times. I can't wait till it come out on DVD so I can buy this movie. This is the best, so far, Marvel movie ever made. When Ant-Man comes out, I'm sure Ant-Man's going to be great. When the second Spider-Man comes out, well, the second Spider-Man has to come out after Avengers 4. So, yeah, it has to. Because Spider-Man's dead. Just about everybody's dead. Ant-Man wasn't in the movie. Hawkeye wasn't in the movie. So they can even do a Hawkeye spinoff or whatever if they want to. But, Ant-Man is still around. I'm sure his movie's going to be good. But until, I think, Avengers 4, and whatever that title's going to be, this is the best comic book based, regardless if you're talking about DC. And I'm a DC head. I'm a comic head, but I'm mostly about DC. But as far as comic book movies are concerned, this beats anything DC produced. This beats anything prior to Infinity War that Marvel produced. This is the greatest movie that's been ever made right now. Right now. This movie was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. If you're a fan like me, you owe it to yourself to go see this movie. Go check it out. I'm going to go to bed. It's 11:13 at night. I'm half dead, and I just wanted to get this review out because this movie was just great. All right. 1 out of 10, I rate this movie a freaking 100. Yeah, this movie is the best movie I've ever seen. But thank you guys for, tuning in. Leave me a comment down below. Trolls, holla at your boy. Leave your bullshit down below in the comment section. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.